What's up, Internet? We are back with another fantabuloso Sega Saturn day, this time with 3 Dirty Dwarves. I've heard a lot about this game, heard it's really, really good. We're currently in the options menu because, like I like to do before I record these, I do a little bit of a test, just to make sure the audio and everything works properly. And it launched into a animated cutscene, and it was really well animated, but I probably won't be able to show any of them because it froze. So, we can't just park it on the menu just to start this up. I apologize. But, hopefully we're not going to get too many cutscenes. Cutscenes in this game look really, really cool. But, we're here for the gameplay, mostly because that's what I can show without my Saturn exploding. I hope. But I've never played this game. I've heard of it. Oh, that's kind of cool. You can... Alright. Oh, I can swap characters? Okay. Okay, you've got a gun, but you're really slow. Let's go with, Alright, let's go with this guy. He's got sport balls. Oh, God! Okay, so you get knocked down if you take any damage. That's interesting. And a little annoying. Whoa. Okay. Okay, we gotta be careful about taking damage. I do kind of like that you get to abuse your teammates to get them back on your side, though. That's kind of neat. It seems like every character kind of has, like, a ranged attack. Like, that's the A button attack. And if I swap teammates, that's an A button attack. And that's an A button attack. And then they've got a melee attack as well. That's cool. So they're kind of balanced. It seems mostly like it's, some characters just attack a little faster than others. I'm not sure what those skulls mean. Are those... Ah! Okay, so skulls are like special attacks. Okay. They're handled with the X button. Or is that... That's the Y button. Yeah, you'd think I'd know the Saturn's actual button layout by now, but I don't. And I'm sad, because this is one of my favorite controllers, too. Oh! That's some cool 3D depth effect right there. What's in there? We got some kind of D20, it looks like. The opening did seem to, at least before it froze, indicate that these characters were designed to be like kids playing a D&D game, and then they get like kidnapped by some kind of special agents, and then the movie froze, so I don't know what's going on after that. I am assuming that their characters kind of came to life and have to rescue them or something. That's kind of what I'm going on. Let's beat up a truck. Has the truck stopped trucking? It looks like it has. Woo! Ratman, stop Ratmanning. The 3D, like, depth effect on this background stuff's really nice. That swinging lamp was really quite impressive. The visuals look really, really good in this game, I gotta say. I'm impressed. Do I have to go down, or am I supposed to fight this rat thing? No, I think it goes away. Or not. Oh, okay, yeah. I do have to kill it to move on. Standard beat-em-up rules apply. Kill everything before you get to move on. It seems like the characters, well, I think there's a bit of a speed element to them. They do seem kind of interchangeable. Just because, like, every character has a ranged attack and a melee attack, you know? That said, I'm kind of digging, like, the creativity of the characters and enemies. Get out of way, truck. I have a gun. Get out of the way. Although, that seems like the slowest attack there is. Still, there doesn't seem to be really any proper health. As long as I keep recovering my teammates, we're good. Which is certainly a choice. I'm not sure that necessarily means it's going to be easy moving forward, but it seems like as long as you're around your teammates when they get knocked down, you're good. Can I go through that door? Oh, you can come down here too. Yeah, that swinging lamp like that was quite nice. And then I broke it, because I liked it so much. Bonk! you ever been hit by a baseball? I have. It sucks. Aha. See, you guys have to come down here if you want to get me. That means I can take you out one-on-one on my terms. It's important. In any beat 'em up, one of the key components is controlling the situation. Get off me, rat. If you can crowd control and set up a proper situation so that you don't have to fight multiple enemies at once, or if you do, you can kind of layer them over top of each other, that's typically, like, the most important rule for any sort of beat 'em up. There doesn't seem to be any, like, depth effect leaving into the background. Although I will say that the underground effect, while I kind of like it, I see a bit of a problem from up here, because while you can see up top from down below, it doesn't work the other way around. So it could be entirely blind going down there. Hey, we got a grab and a throw. And there was a guy down here, but I guess he teleported back up or something. Alright. This is kind of a neat little beat 'em up. I'm not going to say it's the best beat 'em up I've played on the Saturn so far. I mean, that's still and probably will forever be Guardian Heroes, but it's not bad. Not bad. And there's a little taste of the cutscene before it freezes up, because I can't really trust that it's not going to freeze up. But the animation, whoa, that's a cool effect. Again, this game does depth effects really well. This kind of reminds me of a boss from Astal, of all things, where you had a enemy in the background that you kind of just had to dodge and then deal with in the foreground. There you are. Puppies, please. Don't think I can do anything with the tires, but that engine was at least a different thing. So either I'm supposed to... Well, I can't move any further, so I guess I'm just stuck here fighting whatever that thing is. Alright, cool. Oh, I just can't leave my teammates behind. Fair enough. Oh god, they're pulling me away! Quit it. I need my teammate back. Where'd he go? Oh, you pulled him to the other side of the room. That's not fair. That's not fair, dog monster. Play ball, dog monsters. Doesn't feel like fighting the dogs is actually doing anything. That felt like it did something. Nothing else, we got a skull out of it. It also looked like I managed to knock a thing back at him. I don't think this fight is particularly good at explaining its mechanics. Like, am I supposed to fight the dogs? Am I supposed to fight the trash and knock it back into them? Am I supposed to use a specific move on the dogs? Also, there's a dog in the background. That's a bit... Is that supposed to be a tip about something? Game, explain! It probably explains in the cutscene I missed. Uh-oh, I lost a guy. I don't want to lose guys. I only have 3 of them. Okay, let's try mashing some other buttons other than A and B. These jump. The others are not doing anything. Uh-oh. Okay. I don't care for the fact you ran off like that, there, dog. Stealing my teammates? What's up with that? Swapping characters doesn't seem to do anything in this situation. I think I am just supposed to fight the trash, but I'm like supposed to do it in a specific way. Ah, there we go. He threw a dog at me. I just have to freaking counter it like that. That seems to be what the problem is. Okay. That kind of looks like Slimer a little bit. Okay, well that fight was a little confusing to start with, but there we go. Now the question is, how different are all the other bosses from this? The Hills of Bronx. Okay. There's spiky balls. Let's avoid the spikes. Did this guy just rappel down that building? I think someone just rappelled down that... Yeah. Okay, cool. Appreciate the background detail. I will say that the color palette makes it kind of a little bit indistinguishable from the previous stage. That depth effect is impressive, but it's kind of hard to tell where a hitbox on that actually resides. Depth effects are kind of like that in a lot of games, though. It's like, well, Clockwork Knight had that problem too, where you'd see stuff in the background, and it's like, well, yeah, but I don't know once there's like an active hitbox. I think Magic Hoppers did that as well. I've kind of just blocked Magic Hoppers from my memory, given how hard it got at the end. That was just sort of unfairly difficult at the end. Ah, get off. Wow, that rat was mean. Yes, I want to continue. Please don't tell me I've got limited continues. I found that out in a game I'm reviewing right now. It's like really, really hard and you only have one life and then you die. And then you can continue, but you can only continue so many times and no stage actually saves your progress. I was like, oh, okay. I guess I'm starting over then. I don't want to. Not to say your game's not fun, but I care not for it. I kind of like the design of these three guys. They're all different. You got like a sports guy. Yeah, this guy who's like rocking proper like chainmail and has a gun. So anachronisms. And you've got a guy who fights with sports things, but is just kind of dressed like a regular guy. So trucker style, basically. What is the hitbox on these things? Okay, go, 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 go. Out of my way, trash. Ow. I have a baseball bat. I should be able to knock that back. Do not. It's a good thing that the ones you don't play as don't have like an active hurt box. Because if you could do damage to your teammates when you're not using them, that would not be good. I would thoroughly say that would be about as much of this game as I could take if that was the case. I don't know why that one rat managed to kill me the way it did, but it did. Ah, that's because it's this rat, and he's stronger than the rest. I guess. And this one, they're were-rats. Come on. Ow, get off. I care not for were-rats. Ow. Were-rats basically just kobolds. Actually, kobolds are a weird creature, because I've seen them portrayed as a bunch of different things. Like, they're lizard, bipedal, humanoid monsters. They're like half-wolf creatures. They're like big rat people. There's a lady one. Oh, she's got unique animations. Cute. Also, someone died here. And that someone's about to be me if I don't take this thing out. I can actually kill you. Oh god, I don't think I can. That's a problem. Okay. I think she doesn't mind being attacked. This enemy could be a bit of a problem. No, you keep doing that. I'm gonna go save my teammate. There we go. I think she's invulnerable. She's not invulnerable, she just has a stupid amount of health. Okay. And someone died here. And there's a bat out there in the background. I think that's a bat anyway. I actually heard a bat earlier tonight. I was walking outside taking out the trash and I heard a bat, which is weird because I don't think we get bats around here. Also, that bat is throwing basketballs at us and it's quite rude. I'm trying to explain my bat story from earlier tonight. Actually, there's not much of a story. I just heard one and that's it. End of story. Bonk. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay. As long as I've got 2 guys on my team, we're good. That's the trick. I will say the palette for the backgrounds hasn't changed much since the first level, which is a little concerning. Like, I'm not expecting it to go hypercolor anytime soon, but I don't know, sticking to cold blues and greens is certainly a choice you can make, but if you don't actively try and make the aesthetics of every stage a little bit different at the very least, it's gonna get real samey real quick. I don't think we made any progress. There are no checkpoints in these stages, are there? That's a bit of a pain. Still, the animation's quite nice. I took a look at the developers, what is it, Appaloosa Software? Because I swear I'd heard of them before, but I couldn't think of anything they made. And they made Tiny Tank, which was a pretty cool little PS1 game. They also made the Jaws game on the Xbox, which is kind of a neat little game. Which is basically a modded version of Echo the Dolphin on the Dreamcast. But with more carnage. Get off. Oh! Get away, were-rats. By day, they're rats, and by night, they're even bigger rats. Were-rats. Were-rat all you like. As long as I've got 2 people alive, that's what matters. I'm kind of surprised I can't, like, reflect those things. Oh! There's the timing on that attack. These attacks actually have a bit of a wind-up. And you're just kind of stuck waiting for them. But, either way, we'll try again. I think there's like 15 levels to this game. Or so, I think I read. So, we've got a ways to go. That's assuming I want to play through all of it, though. I'm not sure I do. I'm already seeing a few things that make me a little bit concerned about playing this long term, but I don't think it's going to be a super long game. That said, I think Guardian Heroes, that game had like hundreds of levels if you count like every permutation and like route, but at the same time, like each playthrough of the game only had like 5 or 6 levels if I recall. We've got to play that game again. Maybe next time. Maybe next time we'll do Guardian Heroes. I feel like that's one you save for a special occasion, though. Because Guardian Heroes is a very special game. I'm just glad that game got a remake so, you know, more people can play it. And it was a really, really good remake. Where they fixed up the animations and made it look a lot cleaner. High def and stuff. Go away, where we're at. Given the time it takes to actually, like, reload this, I would almost think that you'd want the ranged attack to be far more forceful than anything else. Because you really are just kind of stuck in place and when you use it. Alright, crowd control moment. I want a hug. Oh no! Let go! Oh no! Uh-oh. 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 Okay. Okay, gotta play this. Play this smart. Kite him up. Jump! Run like heck. Okay, there we go. Okay, we're good. I kind of wonder if enemies are like, if their spawns are... Can I hit this back at that guy? I really want to. That's not even a basketball. That's just the brickwork behind the wall. That's actually pretty creative. I like that. So I feel like you should be able to, like, reflect some of these ranged attacks. I mean, we've got a character that's literally designed around smacking baseballs as his ranged attack, you know. I feel like you should be able to at least deflect things. I'm not necessarily advocating for, like, a whole Lost Vikings thing where every character has, like, a set permutation, like a special ability and niche that they fit in for combat, but, you know, making each of the characters a little bit more functionally diverse to give them, like, specialized combat rules could be interesting. How much of this can I actually run away from? This is something I always like to test in beat-em-ups, because... Okay. We can team up and do a super move. That's kinda neat. But I always like testing, seeing how far... Ow! SWAT guy. Not nice. I always like testing how far you can go before the game says, okay, now you gotta stop and wait. Alright. Well, he surrendered. I'll leave him be. As long as he doesn't shoot me in the back or something. And who knows, maybe down the line he'll be a friend. I played this one beat-em-up. It was a decent enough beat-em-up. I reviewed it a little while ago. But, like, you could avoid most of the stuff. You could just run past it and there was no punishment for it. It's not like they were following you and you had to, like, wait for them at a certain point. Like, there'd be a point where the game would stop and you had to, like, clear out a set number of enemies. But those were all enemies that spawned in that place. Stuff that you left behind was just behind you. And there really was no reason to actually address any of it. It was a very weird choice. Design-wise. I want to do a gym. Okay. Let's gym it up. Am I fighting the gym? Or am I supposed to just sit here and survive? What's on the... Okay, I can't leave. I don't really understand what's being asked of me here. The music's pretty good though. Oh, I'm just supposed to punch it? Okay, well that's a fairly brute force strategy, but I'm not complaining. I'll brute force. It's a little hard to tell where those are going to fly at you. Huh. Okay, so they can't be made beefcakes. I feel like that's sending kids the wrong message. You should probably exercise and try and build up some muscle if you can. What? Why does that building have feet now? Ah. That's a really nice leaning effect. This game really does have a nice depth. And its 3D models are really well done. And they're very stylish. Like, I would not have pegged this as an actual 3D model when I first saw it. Now, I have a question, though. Like I said, I'm pretty sure this game had 15 levels. That's what it said on the box. Now, does that count the bosses as a separate level? Because it did basically have to load a different thing, and we are in ostensibly a different location. Or is this just part of level 2? I think hitting it at a distance is probably the way to go here. We'll say the music's pretty good. It feels very 90s, but, you know, it's not a bad thing. I mean, hell, people born in the 90s like me are kind of nostalgic for that sort of stuff. We miss the fact that the Earth mined all the radium from it, and now things are significantly less rad. Also, we just destroyed a building. Rampage style. Yeah, that was a stage, so I guess we're on stage 4 now. Bronx by day. We're not leaving the Bronx, are we? Well, we got a slightly brighter palette to work with anyway. Don't care for the fact enemies literally spawned on top of us, but let's test something. I'm just gonna keep running. Game won't let me. Fair enough. You're not gonna let me just cheese you from a distance, are you, mate? Alright. I wonder if I could... Well, I guess the idea of seeing if I could get an enemy on there is off the table now. Ooh, can I jump on the spring and do a springy thing? Yes, I can. Alright, well, that's one of them down. Those shields are a bit obnoxious. Oh, no. I feel like the best way to handle this stuff is... Yeah, it's not bad. I'd like to show off the cutscenes a little because it was really well animated, but unfortunately, during the little test before I started this, it froze. But I gotta say, it's interesting. I don't think it conveys its mechanics for bosses terribly well, but otherwise, I think it's pretty fun. Oh no! Oh, yeah. That's how you beat these guys. Throwing them. Oh, we're getting smacked from behind. Alright. Yeah, these shield guys are a little more obnoxious, but I can deal with this. That lady with the insane amount of health that kept kissing you was a little annoying. Ooh, we got more new guys. Cool. These guys remind me of, like, all the things in Streets of Rage that have motorcycles and just disappear instantly. Superpower, go! Okay, need teammate. Don't block. Okay, so... we can't actually beat him ourselves. We have to get an old lady behind him to knock him down. You know what, game? You get that. I'll let you have that. That's creative. Ma'am, I'm gonna give you some distance out of respect. And fear. Fear and respect. Bonk. I gotta say, this game's not too bad. I mean, the beating up is a bit monotonous and not the most inspired I've ever seen, but again, you know. Something to be said about just having a nice, solid, well-made game. This seems to be it. Aside from the kind of wonky mechanic explaining of boss fights and how it doesn't do that. We must beat down these skip-the-dishes employees. They just want to get me my pizza fast. And I respect that, but they're currently in my way. Ugh. This game is probably not sponsored by Skip the Dishes. What with them not existing for a very long time before this. And also the fact that, you know, that's a Canadian concept. I think in America they had DoorDash. And I'm dead. I got taped to death. Yeah, the 90s art style is very, very strong in this game. The cutscenes are very 90s as well. Like, it looks like something I would have watched in, like, elementary school. When the teachers didn't want to teach and they just plopped in a movie or something. Like, it looks very of its time. No, stop riding the little horsey. I do like the creativity employed with some of this stuff in this game. Like, for a game that's more or less just a basic beat-em-up, it does have some relatively creative ideas. Okay, I almost see this as a sort of almost attempt at being kind of an Earthworm Jimmy sort of situation where we wanted to create something weird and strange. I think there was an Earthworm Jim on the Saturn, actually. I think it was a remake of the second one, which I'm a little less familiar with. I just remember I could not beat the boss of the first stage in Earthworm Jim 2, which I think was just a big pile of worms, if I recall. Oh! You know what the specials are, and I'm stupid for not realizing this. The X, Y, and Z buttons, in that order, consume 1, 2, and 3 of your little skull tokens, and require 1, 2, or 3 people. That's what that is. That's kind of neat. Bonk. Go get him, ma'am. Bonk. Don't block my shots. I can't block anyone else's shots. You shouldn't be allowed to. This definitely feels like a game of its time. That's not a bad thing. I mean, I'm from its time, and I like stuff from my time. Oh, I just had a horrible idea for something we could do for Saturday, and I really don't want to. But we could do the Sega Saturn Hide Glide. I own that. It's really bad. And it was by Atlas. Atlas put it out, at least. And it's like, really? Atlas did this? I assume it's probably only published, but still, it's like a shockingly, incredibly crappy game. Yeah, this does kind of have a bit of a Genesis feel. It kind of reminds me. And ironically, it's a game that has nothing to do with any... Ah! Go away. It kind of reminds me a little bit, aesthetically, I don't know why, of Skeleton Crew. I don't like this guy. This guy's mean. Go away, weird tape guy. No one likes you. And your tape. Ugh. It also kind of reminds me of, what was that one game? Crap. I had it, and I lost it. It was like Skeleton Crew, it was like Earthworm Jim. What was that other Genesis game I was thinking of? There's a perfect analogy on the Genesis for this kind of game, and it's like, what was that? Saturn Hide Glide. It's a thing that exists. I wish it didn't. The sad thing is, there was kind of an okay Hide Glide. It was on the Genesis. I think it was called Super Hide Glide 3 or something like that. And it was actually kind of a sort of competent-ish game. Which for Hide Glide is kind of an insane thing. Whoa! Okay, we got a guy with Molotovs now. Quit it. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Alien Hominid in its art style a bit too, which of course means it's also a bit like Castle Crashers, at least visually. It has that sort of rough, cartoony, sort of indie sort of vibe going on with it. Alright, we got one of the skulls. And getting hit loses you skulls. I'm having deja vu with the game I'm reviewing right now. A game all about losing power-ups every time you get hit. And it's bad in that regard. Otherwise, it's a fine game, but losing your power-ups when you take damage is not fun. Oh, and there goes that. Hope I didn't want that too much. I did. Spoilers. I do appreciate that I can wake up 2 teammates at once. That's good. Grabbing that. It does have a bit of a flash game feel to it, for sure. I don't think I can throw these guys. I wish I could. Bonk. Okay, if we get skulls, just use them. That's the strategy this game is teaching me right now. I saw that. That's a streaker, isn't it? He fought us with his sensor bar. Okay. Well, that's interesting. I was not expecting that today. This game is very strange. I'm guessing that's why this game got a T rating, because otherwise it's a pretty tame game. Ugh. Crap. Just trying to think what that game was that reminds me of this. And I genuinely don't know what it is. And that bugs me a lot. What was that game? It was on the Saturn. Genuinely have a pretty good memory for games. That's one thing I have a good memory for. Depth. Alright. Now let's not take any damage. Okay, well that doesn't hurt, so we don't lose health. Or we don't lose our this. Which is good. I like to keep our this if we can. Yeah, it seems like spamming your specials is like the way to beat this game. Oh. Okay. I prefer not to lose my skulls if I can. So we're just gonna bait this guy in, smack him back. Bait this guy in, smack him back. Bonk. 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 Right. And away he runs. Just gonna use our specials right here. There we go. That makes life a lot easier. Oh. I feel like jumping does more. It doesn't, but I feel like I'm safer this way. Get off, rat. I don't like this guy so much. Oh, crap. What? Ah! I care not for this fellow. He's mean. Whoa! Okay there, game. Calm down. The choice of spawning things on top of you in this level is a bit questionable. Quit it, piggy. Bonk. Alright. That's... Making precise jumps in this game is not a strong suit. Oh. Yeah, I don't care for the losing your special when you take damage. That sucks. I appreciate that that doesn't cause you to take damage, but... There we go. Alright, well, we got 3 of these anyway. Let's take care not to get my ass kicked by this guy again. You know, this guy, he just doesn't want to be bothered. I don't see why we're enemies. You're just hanging out, guy. It's almost like he's bodyguarding the lady, and she just doesn't realize it or something. I feel bad about this entire encounter. Oh, you know what this game reminds me of, kind of? Toe Jam and Earl. This kind of reminds me of Toe Jam and Earl. It's just got a kind of like weird street art style about it. And it does feel very kind of weird and offbeat. Oh man. There was a new Toe Jam and Earl game that came out like last year and I still haven't played it. And I feel bad about that because I like Toe Jam and Earl a lot. That was a cool game. I wonder what a cartridge version of that costs nowadays. Alright, there we go. Actually, speaking of Toe Jam and Earl, I was just thinking, you know, when that came out on the Xbox, I played it with my girlfriend. We had a lot of fun. She has no experience with the Genesis, so it's kind of fun that that was like her first Genesis experience. Then we played Altered Beast, and she learned very quickly why I dislike Altered Beast, and that it wasn't the best Genesis experience. And that was a lot of people's first Genesis experience, too. But the short version of the story is Toe Jam and Earl is great, Altered Beast sucks. Although I kind of want to try the weird, what was it? I think it was Japanese exclusive, I think PS3 Altered Beast. Just because I can't imagine that game being any good. Because modern reboots of stuff are, like, always bad. Like, modern Final Fight is awful. That was on the PS2, I think. Streetwise, I think it was called. I don't think anyone liked that game. And then, there was Golden Axe Beast Rider, which was a weird combination of Rising Zan, Samurai Gunman, and Guitar Hero of all things. These guys are just easier to freaking beat down with specials. Aw, despawned. Hooray! Sensor Bar Ninja. I don't know what inspired your creation, and I'm a little bothered that you exist, but here we are in this world that you happen to inhabit. Ah! Was that Altered Beast in English? Huh. I swear it was Japanese exclusive. What am I thinking of then? because I think it was on PS3, and I thought it was Japanese exclusive. Maybe not. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. Question is, what am I thinking of then? Because the only other thing I can think of, it wasn't a remake, but I know Japan got a weird PS3 exclusive of that terrible Vampire Rain. Oh god, I own that. Maybe for next Halloween we'll do Vampire Rain. Oh, I don't want to do that ever. That was a weird knockoff of, like, the Splinter Cell, except made by people who don't understand what a video game is. I've tried to play that game a bunch of times too, it's just, it's pain. I believe I'm owed an extra skull game. Throw. I've tried to play Vampire Rain a few times. I don't think I've ever managed to beat level 2. I just remember the vampires in it are like stupid hard. Object permanence. If it's not a power-up, they remember it. I wish they'd remember the power-ups though. Throw. I don't know. I don't think bugs were the problem so much as just general balance was just awful. You know. Sorry, officer. The game dictated I had to do that. Alright, that was a little frustrating. A bouncing bed. Okay. Oh, it's, what is it? Flying Hero or whatever? Where you have to play as the little, who's it's the firefighters bouncing on the trampoline to rescue people. Except this is made really incompetently. Like, credit where credit's due, this is creative, it just doesn't work the way they've designed it. Because their teammates just kind of stop moving at a certain point. Oh god. I don't think I can actually die here because all I'm doing is losing skulls. Which I can't even use in this mode. That boss was at least clear in how you deal with him. I appreciate that. Because the others sure as hell haven't been. Garbage Hills! Yeah, we're using more greens. This game really does like its greens. I think it could stand to maybe use a few reds. I mean, other than those D4s and the skulls in the corner, it's not really using reds in its palette at all. Which is not really the cleanest or most pleasant looking aesthetic you can go for. Like, it's nice they're using slightly more, like, bright and warm greens, but still, it's like, you gotta use some different colors. Now, there's important use in those colors, and it's important to know when to use colors, but I don't like you. I'm gonna special through you. I don't have specials. Uh-oh. I don't need them for that guy. I do like this guy's special. The shotgun front kick. Very stylish. I noticed you weren't hurt by those. I'm betting I would have been. Double standards. It must be the unions giving these guys immunity from damage. I know what's up. I like this guy the best. He's got a shotgun. Well, that's terrifying looking. That's like an enemy from an actual survival horror style game. Of some description. Kind of like how that, what was it? The Evil Within had that guy with a box for his face that was desperately trying to be Pyramid Head. Almost kind of reminds me of this guy, except he's more robotic. Alright. Block this. The power of baseball. Sports balls. How much health does this guy have? I mean, he's reeling, so he's clearly taking damage from it. A lot of it, apparently. Can I jump in this? Aw. Missed opportunity for a cool power-up game. I don't know what that was about. Not gonna let him survive long enough to show me. I really do not like that I can't seem to pick up power-ups when I get them. Because that one, I think it was just spawned partially off screen, so it didn't count that my hitbox hit it. The defense on some of these enemies is a bit crazy. That was kind of cool. Oh good, it's this guy. Well, we know what to do now. He has no defense for ranged attacks. So I'm just gonna sit here for a while, I guess. And this is my life. Just sitting here, shooting this guy. I mean, it's fine. I'm fine with sitting here and shooting this guy. It'll work. It's just I'm not sure it's all that interesting. Still feel like I should have been able to use that as a power-up. Can't block that. Excuse me? With the bear traps? Okay. I think he's not coming back now. I think that's supposed to be produce? Bonk. I don't really understand why that guy turns into produce, but okay. Trade a special, get a special, take out the enemy, boop. Ah, right. I know how this goes. This might be a problem of design. Like, the enemies either seem to be able to block all your ranged attacks, or they just don't seem to know how to handle it. Now, I'm appreciative that the really big, scary guys are weak to ranged attacks, because I don't want to be up close and personal with it. But I don't get why others just have perfect guards. There's, like, no medium. Which is a very weird choice to make. Still can't get into the mech suits. Back to this guy because I like this guy. I haven't made that clear yet. Okay, the screen stopped like it wanted an encounter, but then it didn't give me one. What? I don't... Am I supposed to attack the chicken with its head cut off? I don't... No! No checkpoints and stages is annoying. Okay, let's try this again. You know, I think where I stand, the presentation of this game is pretty good, aside from its over-reliance on greens and generally not very appealing color palettes. But what kills it is just a bunch of, like, little things, like the fact that there's no checkpoints in the stages. And the stages themselves are pretty long. And, like, some enemies are just perfect at blocking, whereas others are just completely inept. Also, I'm not really sure if I can say this game has much strategy, because as long as you've got one person to knock out the other two, you can kind of just go berserker on everything. As long as you can pick up your one teammate, you're good. So we got a perfect blocking enemy. Ah, Alter Beast was on PS2. Interesting. I've heard it's pretty bad. I know the Final Fight one was pretty bad. I know the Narc remake was pretty abysmal as well. It never came out to North America. That would explain it. Still, if it's on PS2, maybe I'll see if I can get a copy on my hard drive or something. Test it out for research. I want to try and collect all the PS2 games that had, like, weird cover colors for, like, PS2 boxes. Because, in my experience, PAL PS2 cases were just weirdly colored. And then, of course, there was, like, those Jak and Daxter ones that all were orange, which was an interesting idea. And I think there was, like, one or two that were, like, green. Most of them were blue, which I think is peculiar. But that's because I came from North America, where all our PS2 boxes were black. I think, if I recall, Final Fight was... It was trying to be very dark and edgy. And, like, all the characters swore, and I think one of the characters was, like, in prison and then became a villain or something like that. And you had to, like, bring him in as, like, another prisoner who was trying to earn redemption or something. I don't remember much. I've never liked Final Fight. I was always a Streets of Rage kind of guy. And yet I've never played the fourth game. I really need to get a copy of Streets of Rage 4 at some point. And the new Toe Jam and Earl game, as we've established. I'm behind on my indie games, and the funny thing is, this year has mostly been indie gaming for me. Like, I'm genuinely trying to think of, like, really big AAA titles that I liked, and it's a pretty short list. Like, I think my Game of the Year list at the end of the year is going to have maybe one or two titles that aren't, like, just straight-up indie titles. It's just going to be a year of the indie game for the most part. Not to say there aren't bad indie games. I've played a few of those this year, though. Oh, that's pretty boring. Oh, he changes the light bulb on his mech. That's cute. The animations in this game, very, very cool. You know, I've never played Neo. I bought it years ago on my PS4 and just never played it. And I kind of want to buy the second one, but I've also still never played the first one, so I don't see much point in it. Until then, at least. All I know is it's a game about vaguely historical names and nothing but historical accuracies, if you're into that sort of thing. Like, I can tell you the big Irish samurai character, who's the main character. He was a samurai in real life, but he was a navigator, not a fighter. I know that for a fact. So, historical accuracies in Neo. Not accurate. Oh, you get to create a character? That's pretty cool, actually. I do appreciate a good character creator. Well, you know, if you're gonna have historical inaccuracies, you might as well have an OC running around. I'm gonna meet Oda Nobunaga. Shake his hand. Now I'm just remembering Way of the Samurai. How you could, like, enlist with your own character into, like, these major factions. I remember I enlisted with, like, the big name Shogun in the area. And then when I got his trust, I basically rushed him and killed him instantly and took over his empire. And the ending just said, yep, you did that, and your reign lasted one whole day. And then your entire nation was conquered. I bet you feel stupid, don't you? Oh, if only he knew how many times I killed Oda Nobunaga in good old Nintendo. He might not want me to play with him in Neo. I mean, you got to at least respect his goal of trying to unify Japan. You know, there's something to respect in that. And having an entire nation flying under one banner does make at least logistics of taking care of stuff a little less complicated. That's the, what is it, Anakin Skywalker school of diplomacy. Diplomacy with one person. It just works better because there's no faffing about. It's true, the people after him did ultimately attain his goal, which is good. Well, I just used all my specials, and I'm out of guys. Oh, poop. I don't like you. You big chicken-riding jerk face. Who lives in a garbage dump. Man, I want to play a Nindo now. I haven't played a Nindo, like, since I reviewed it. I feel bad about that, too, because that game's great. It's weird, though, because it starts off as, like, an RPG and then kind of becomes a strategy game halfway through. Very, very weird game. You can skip Neo 1, can you? Well, that just means I need to get a copy of Neo 2 now. Maybe once there's a bunch of Christmas sales or something. Honestly, I see a lot of, like, Black Friday sales. It's like, well, I have absolutely no money right now. I see quite a few of them that I like, but I just can't afford anything. Like, I see a bunch of Switch indie titles I'd like to get as well. And then there's, like, a couple of indie titles on the PS4 and a couple on Steam I'd like to get. And every time I look on Steam, I have to add, like, 6 titles to my wish list, so I'm never going to actually pare that thing down. And I don't play Steam games unless, you know, someone gets one for me for jobs, so it's like, why do I keep buying Steam games? I don't PC games so well because I'm not good at it. Stop throwing stuff at me. I appreciate you're using stuff to recycle to fight me, but still, quit it. Actually, speaking of, I want to complain about a thing. I've got a 3D printer, and aside from the fact that I have to deal with a bunch of stuff because it's broken, like the previous two I bought that didn't work out of the box, I've been using PLA, which is a type of plastic that is derived from corn and beets, and it is biodegradable. At least on paper. It's only biodegradable if you can use a special industrial grade microbe to, you know, like disintegrate it, basically. So I'm trying to see if my city's very, very intense compost program actually can cover that, and my city won't give me any sort of response. So I have to go to the actual company, which is in the other side of the city, or the other side of the country rather, that handles this stuff. I sent them an email and they never responded. So I'm just stuck with this pile of plastic that I'm like, okay, this is organic, ostensibly, if my city's doing stuff right, but no one will tell me. And I don't want to dump it somewhere where it's not going to degrade. But I don't want to put it in the recycling, because there it's definitely not going to degrade, and there's a good chance it'll end up in the waterways in some capacity, and then, you know, bioaccumulate in humans. It's like, I just want to try and do the right thing, people. I just need an answer somewhere. I play pretty much every PC game with controller, just because I can't keyboard terribly well. But at the same time, I don't know. I just prefer playing on my TV. And yeah, I could hook up my PC to my TV. I've done it before, but trying to do that doesn't work properly. Like, I have to set it up as a second monitor, and then for some reason, OBS doesn't recognize the second monitor, so I'd have to put my game on the first monitor anyway, and then it just becomes a whole thing. It's like, well, yeah, or I could just, you know, play it on a console with all the extra stuff and problems removed. Just plug and play. That's part of why I really liked console gaming, was the plug and play aspect of it. Well, that, and you don't have to deal with a command line that will break the game if you type anything wrong in it. Because that was DOS for me. But I really should play PC games more. And part of me feels like I would if I could just get it onto my TV properly and record it. But I don't know how to do that without, like, breaking OBS. I actually wasn't using the Streamlabs when I tested that. Streamlabs came much, much later. But I get what you're saying about that. For sure. The problem was I could put stuff on a second screen, but I couldn't record it if it was on the second screen. And just getting stuff on a second screen was a pain in the ass and a half to begin with. So I don't know. I should really just straight up try again. I know I should. I just wish everything in my life didn't have to be a struggle, down to like the easiest, simplest stuff. Like, I feel like, and I've said this before, like when I ordered my 3D printers, you know, I don't think it's insane to just purchase something and expect it to work. Because, you know, I'm buying something with the understanding that I'm getting the thing I'm buying. It should work the way it's designed to. And yet, even just something simple as, I'm buying this, please let it work properly, it's always an extra struggle. Like, even just random nonsense, just like cosmic randomness, always just seems very far against me for no adequately explained reason. I think the universe just, in general, hates me, honestly. Which makes me sound like I'm really self-important. Which I'm not, but I don't know. I just find it comical how much stuff goes wrong in an average day for me. Can you now just select from a drop-down menu? Okay, well, I'll try it tomorrow when I get some time, then, because I'm curious. Because if I can just select it from a drop-down menu, then the only problem comes from having to use a splitter to get my HDMI to my TV versus HDMI to my consoles. But if I can do that, that would be great, so we'll see. Yeah, you said you were going to send me a GBA flashcard and a retro tank, which is nice. Because I think the one you're sending me is much, much nicer than the one I actually have, which is pretty not great. What happened to my teammate? What? Okay, get over here. Get over here. I don't know if I'm supposed to attack the turkey or the guy. What is this fight? What? Okay. Interesting. I'm genuinely not sure how to tell if I'm actually doing anything to this guy. This game is really kind of awful at explaining shit with fights. I think him spinning around on his staff is a sign we're doing damage to him. I think. I kind of like those little voodoo dolls. Those are really kind of cool. And they're bespoke for each character. Would you quit it? Eh. There we go. I'm not sure what happened, and I think I broke the screen, but there we go. Oh, we stole his chicken. Nice. Now the game's gonna send me into a stupid boss fight, isn't it? Oh god. Here we go. Okay. Okay, we got completely new mechanics. This game seems to like that. So... am I supposed to be knocking at his teammates? Or trying to go for open spaces for a run? Or am I supposed to be hitting him? Okay, well, it looks like runs aren't him. Well, now he's stalled out. What was that about? It seems like hits are kind of random. Like, it just sort of selects at random where the ball wants to go. Like, if I'm pressing left, it just went right. So let's press hard right. That goes left. Okay, there's a little bit of sensibility to this, I guess. Okay, so you have to go for... okay. So if I go super far that way, go for a run. I gotta go for... this is pretty creative. Go, 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 go! Okay, I think we're just going for one run. So knowing that, if I just get it over there... maybe I have to wait. I got two of them that time. Go! Okay. That's one. This fight really goes on forever. Go! There we go. Alright, that's two. I like that he uses his gun as a bat. That's kind of cool. Alright. Well, I think they're constantly trying to move forward towards us, too. So we gotta, like, take them out while clearing a way for... oh, crap. So it's a little bit of like Space Invaders. Oh crap, that was bad. Okay. As long as we take care, we'll be okay. Just gotta slowly adjust. Go. Okay. This is where things get a little bit scary. Go. Oh, that didn't count. So I absolutely have to get each of them a run. Alright. I don't like that. Go for a run. You can only have one guy out there running at a time. This is... I kind of appreciate the creativity of this, but I hate the execution. The fact that you're obligated to use all three characters is just a little obnoxious. Run! You're done. You guys lose. That was, I guess, a boss fight. Sorta. Okay, let's try the House of Fire. Oh, this is kind of creative. Oh, am I supposed to hit him? Or am I supposed to, like, just destroy the walls that he's not in? Because if this is just a game of Rampage, then so be it. Okay, don't heat up the ball. Oh, that wasn't good. Alright, yeah, it looks like we gotta smack the dragon. Okay. 2. Alright. Oh, it does look like the windows are taking more and more damage as time goes on. This might not come across in the video, but basically you have to move like up and down, like there's 3 layers. Like you go either left, right, center, middle, upper, or lower. But it doesn't, the way the camera works, it doesn't look like that's the case. And you don't really have any control over it after a certain point. You're just sort of hoping you did it right. Oh, I see. You're coming out the door now, are you? Let's talk about that, Mr. Dragon. Yeah, you really do lose, like, directional control about a quarter of the way through. Maybe I can destroy these lower ones now, 'cause it doesn't seem like the dragon's doing anything. No. I guess I just have to hit the dragon now. Right in his stupid dragon face. Well, he seems to have a ridiculously small hitbox if I'm doing this wrong. Try something else. I can maybe hit that window a little bit more. There we go. Oh, oh, I don't get to actually run into the dragon with that? That's sad. Bonk. Is there a way to get him to move to the left and right? Because I'm not seeing it. I want to reiterate, one of the biggest issues this game has is just explaining how it works. Am I supposed to jump on the fountain? Doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like I can hit him. I don't think I can pick these up either. Oh. I can just throw stuff into the background now. Was that always a mechanic? Because if it was really poorly explained in that it didn't explain shit. To reiterate, that's the problem. Just gotta nudge him over, I guess. You know, that sort of like sidestepping motion they've got kind of reminds me a little bit of Death Duel, one of the best Genesis games ever made that no one ever played. So it was all about fighting giant monsters and aliens in first person, and they were in the background, and it was fun, and it was violent, and it was really goofy. I guess that was it. Yeah, these boss fights are weird is a good trolley. It's not a North American term typically. But we're in the Bronx. We've established this. Also, it's Donkey Kong Country now. I think we're throwing teddy bears. I'm reminded a little bit of Clockwork Knight, thinking about Saturn Day. Clockwork Knight had games like this in the second one. I know the first one didn't, but... Well, it was nice they... Is there even a failure state to this? Because I feel like there isn't. Unless maybe I lose all my skulls. Is losing skulls a failure state? I just don't understand, game. I mean, if it is, we're far from being in a dangerous spot. That was some good air. Whoa, okay. Do appreciate you can run over people in this. That's kind of nice. Don't want to fall down there if I can help it. Jump! It always seems like you want the upper route in these sort of things. It's Sonic the Hedgehog rules. Upper route is always better. Usually more technical, but better rewards. Usually higher difficulty, though. I don't need 1,000 swords, unless you've got 1,000 arms. Someone was very impressed with that 3D modeling. Huh, yep, you can just hit stuff in the background. I mean, yeah, I lose my special powers, but it's not really that much of a problem if, you know, I can't hit you with them in the first place. Eat bowling pins. Okay. That was easy enough, I guess. Back to green. Does have kind of a nice sort of storybook style of like shading and coloring. Also, that lighting is rather nice. That guy tried and spork me? I think that guy tried to spork me. Ow. I wanted to test a thing and it wouldn't let me. Let's try again. Bonk. I have a shotgun. I'm not scared. Shotgun. And a D20. You know, I sometimes forget that the stages in the foreground have depth. Nope, can't actually throw stuff into the background right now. So it's literally only sometimes. So I'm willing to admit I didn't try earlier, but I also couldn't, so it didn't matter. Get up. Oh god, okay. So stay out of the light is the short version of this tale. Let's try again. Okay. Need to be careful about background lighting objects. Noted. Taking this, because that's going to be more useful than saving my teammate right away. And it's gone. Bonk. Take that, and gonna knock you down. Gonna take that, and that. Did he throw that behind him for some reason? I mean, yeah, he did, but, like, why? Why did he throw that behind him for some reason? Okay, now I can throw stuff into the background, so it's really specific when you can do that. That's not ideal. And you can't preemptively do that until they stop, so that's really wildly specific. Ah, but you can avoid those guys. That's useful knowledge. Grabbing that. Don't spork me, bonk. Oh god, I feel like I made a terrible mistake doing that. Are they fighting each other now? I genuinely don't know. Well, he does seem to actually block that. That's cool. Ow. I don't know what I'm supposed to do about this. Okay, well, he surrendered. That's important. I would have liked to get that D20. I don't like that you can't throw until after they've basically taken an attack at you. Because until then it's locked, 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 now go. After they throw an explosive at you. That's just unfair. And I kind of wonder why in general they would... That's a really crappy looking heliport sign. But anyway, it's just weird that they lock that mechanic in general. Are you attacking me with a mop, sir? I take offense to that. Also, I just died. But it's been about an hour and a half. I think we get what 3 Dirty Dwarves is about. It's not bad. It's not bad, and I'm going to continue just so that it doesn't dump us into a screen that's going to freeze the game. But anyway, I think that will be it for this Saturn day. I think this game is... It's creative and interesting, but I think it's mechanically very simple. And when it does introduce new mechanics, it's very, very obtuse about it. It's never clear what mechanics are in play or when. Bosses are confusing, but the basic beat-em-ups are actually kind of decent. And, you know, the visuals are quite great, although it desperately needs a bit more of a varied and, honestly, brighter and more colorful palette. But I think the game is okay. I actually did check how much this game was going for before I started this. I think it's going for about $100 American right now, which is a lot more than I would pay for this. But, you know, I'd buy this game for like 40 bucks, maybe. I'm not having that much fun with it, but I think it's kind of an interesting Saturn game all the same. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this exploration into 3 Dirty Dwarves, a weird Saturn beat-em-up that I think was also on PC, actually, so... Well, maybe it's been made available since then. But I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, follow the stream to know we go live, because we're trying to stream as often as possible. Got to do N64 Multicart, hopefully tomorrow, because I'm running out of those again. Got to continue with Opuna and Live Alive. Still got to figure out what I'm doing instead of Gotcha Force, but we'll figure it out when time gets there. You might also want to check out and subscribe to my YouTube channel, see everything else, which is a lot of stuff. And if you really want to make my day, check out the show's PayPal or Patreon. Support the show any way you can so that I can continue to do what I do best, which in this case is explore my love of the Sega Saturn and play some interesting beat-em-ups. Still, I'm just going to say it, not as good as Guardian Heroes, but let's be honest, Guardian Heroes was kind of the best beat-em-up of all time. It's another reason why you need a Saturn, I guess. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Peace out, Internet.